both sides of this election have so much propaganda going on. You cannot tell who's up. They both are acting like they are winning this race. The marketing from both sides is strong. Harris is spending so much money on marketing, it's crazy. But Donald Trump seems to be spending, he's not spending the same amount, but he seems to be spending his money equally efficiently, because I see Donald Trump's commercials all the time. I'm getting flyers to my house for Trump. Like I'm getting all type of crap. Like they are spamming us to the point that these people have become annoying. Voting used to be a good thing, right? It's always a good thing, but voting used to be something that you'd be like, yo, I can't wait to vote because like this is about to be a beautiful thing. We getting a new president. We getting, you know what I'm saying? Voting used to be like it's not that now. Voting, a whole elections campaign process, these people lie so much. They make so many stupid promises. They keep arguing about stuff nobody cares about. And then we get stuck with the same person, with somebody else getting in person, but they all act like the same person. And there's no change, no real change. And no matter who's in office, they all make the same moves. So it really is not making any sense to me, you know, that it goes the way it goes. But what I think about both candidates, first of all, I don't think either of them is going to deviate too much from the status quo as a politician. As much as everybody makes it seem like these are some radical choices on the left and on the right, they're really not. Trump was president already. If it wasn't for COVID-19, it was a normal 4-year presidential cycle. There was nothing strange or weird or anything like that when Trump was in office. Everything still felt the same. Biden and Harris in office, the same exact stuff going on. They took over while COVID was still strong. It was literally the same thing. There was nothing like, these people have radical ideas when they're on campaign trails. When they get in the White House, they become the same person. All of them become the same person in the White House. Democrat, Republican, it don't matter. They're all the same. I haven't seen much of a difference. You understand what I'm saying? And when I say a difference, I don't mean that they are literally the same. But what I'm saying is, as far as things that they put in place, like policy and stuff like that, it's not much changing. Even though they talk about Trump pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, even though they talk about Kamala Harris with her, what they call horrible record with the border. When you think about it, they say she has a horrible record with the border, but the undocumented immigration stuff was an issue way before she got in as the vice president. So literally, what's the difference? They're just using it. So only thing that we get is new marketing around the same issues. We get new marketing around the same issues. The whole immigration thing and undocumented people was literally the same issue under Trump. It was the same under Obama. They say Obama deported the most people in history from this country. So at what point was it not an issue? It's always been the same problem. Inflation has been bad. Gas has been going up $3, $4, $5. Like none of it is new. But it's just all about marketing. So what I'm saying is, I think that here's what I don't like. I don't like the insulting advertisements. Most of the time, the Republicans are not marketing to black people, so we don't get a lot of the insulting advertisements from them to us. The condescending advertisements, like the no voting, no sex. That's condescending. Get your booty to the polls. Twerking and all, that's condescending. Why? Now they're doing the balloon pop joint. That's condescending. You understand what I'm saying? Like, who are y'all trying to attract with that? I don't understand. The only thing that y'all are doing is offending voters. I'm not understanding. And I had asked people, I said, I asked people from other communities, if you live in a predominantly Latino Hispanic community, if you live in a predominantly Asian community, if you live in a predominantly Native American community, can y'all please send me links? Can you please send me links to what type of advertisements are being shown to those people and marketed to those people? I want to see, do they use stereotypes and barbershops and chicken places and all that type of stuff to advertise? Like, what's the stereotype in the Asian community? Do they use those stereotypes and put out commercial advertisements to those people? Because they bombard us with it. And I'm feeling like, because I watch a lot of political ads and I watch a lot of stuff related to politics altogether, I don't see them doing that to any other group at all. They don't market the way that they market to us. They don't market to anybody else that way. And is making a lot of people say, I don't want anything to do with it at all. It's making a lot of people not want to vote at all. You understand what I'm saying? They don't do that. Here's the thing about it. It's not even effective. Like, yes, we voted for Biden and Harris as a group. We voted for them at like 88%, 88%, something like that. It was 82% for black men, 92% for black women, right? So they still got the overwhelming majority of the black vote, which we're the only group that voted for the Democrats at that rate. We're the only group that has voted for the Democrats at 90% for the last 60 years. That's unheard of. No community should vote that way, but we do. Anyway, the number is creeping down, especially with black men, because they just constantly blame black men for the way elections turn out, even though we're only, 6% of the voter base. I mean, that's what they say anyway. They constantly blame us for the way these elections turn out, but they never give us credit when they win, but they blame us if they lose, right? They constantly want to talk to us about everything except what we want to talk about, which is, why is black unemployment higher than everybody else? Why is black men's unemployment always higher than everybody else? Why are black youth unemployed way more than everybody else, up in the 30, 40, 50% range? Black youth being people from age of 16 to like 21, right? We have the highest unemployment right there. Why is every side of the political scope against reparations? Why is the school to prison pipeline so strong and so wide, with such a wide diameter, right? When we say the prison pipeline, so we think about a pipeline, a funnel, the diameter is massive. It should not be such an open gateway from school to prison. It shouldn't be such a and I tell my kids, when they come home from school and I'm like, yo, you smell like a jail. They're doing all the same stuff in schools that they do in jails. Like, it's just like the smell of it throws me off. They smell like a jail. So, the stuff that's still going on, the government hasn't still repaired what happened during the subprime lending crisis. They helped the banks out. Black people's home ownership rate still hasn't recovered from that. And guess what? These lending companies and these investors came with a new thing to price gouge when it comes to rentals. So now a lot of black people missed out on the opportunity to buy homes during the COVID and a little bit after that, because these major institutional investors went out and bought up everything and started renting things and raising rental prices extremely high. So now a bunch of black people are saying, hey, I've been saving money. I got my money right. I've been getting financially literate and all that. So now I want to go buy a house. But what happened is, now when I go put a bid in for a house, I'm competing with Zillow. I'm competing with Open Door. I'm competing with Divvy, all cash offers, close in 2 weeks, and they're going above asking price. So now, even though a bunch of black people are finally in position with credit scores, incomes, and everything, down payment money, everything, finally in position to buy a home, we are losing out to full cash offers from institutional investors. This happened by the million across the country. This is not a conspiracy theory. This happened by the million across the country, right? So now, then we have millions of black people that are forced to rent homes in 2020, 2021. And guess what happens about 2022? Rent starts going crazy at the end of 2021 and into 2022. And now people are stuck having to rent at extremely high prices because why? Some company name, I forget the name. I did a segment on them. They are using some algorithm to help landlords price their rental units, and it's going way above market value. This is a nationwide thing. They're being investigated by the FBI right now. They're in trouble right now. However, it does not undo what happened. This is the stuff that's going on right now, and politics has yet to fix this for us. We've been voting Democrat at 80+% for 60 years. And the only thing they keep on hanging their hat on, no, it wasn't Berkshire Hathaway. It was a company that specifically helps people set their rent prices. I'll find it. It's called Real Deal or something like that. We've been voting Democrat for 80 to 90% for the last 60 years. And every time we say we want something, you know what they say? Hey, we gave y'all Brown versus the Board of Education. Hey, we gave y'all the Civil Rights Act. Hey, we gave y'all voting rights. They keep going back to the stuff they did when Martin Luther King was still alive. He's been dead for 60 years almost. How come the stuff that y'all keep on saying that y'all gave us is so old and proven that it's not for us? Even affirmative action, number one beneficiary for that, white women. It's factual. This is not something I'm making up. So we vote for y'all. And it seems that the group does not feel the need to vote for anybody else. So if we keep voting for y'all and get nothing in return, I think we have the right to be angry and start to threaten to take our vote elsewhere. You understand what I'm saying? People act like you are just politically inept or politically illiterate if you even question the Democratic Party. Because you want to say, oh, you want to use scare tactics. He's Hitler. Okay, he's Hitler, but tell me what your politics are that's going to help us. I understand that you're going to help with immigration. I understand that you have a plan to give tax credits to new homeowners up to $25,000, up to $50,000 for first generation homeowners, up, all this type of stuff. I understand that. But if my community is in a position where these other factors are holding us back, we might need a specific plan for us. Tell us about that plan. And you know what they do? They tell us, shut up, you don't know how politics work. It don't work like that. The Real Page, that's what the company's name is. The Real Page is the company that's out here helping, quote unquote, helping landlords price gouge. Not helping them, recommending the price gouge. Just telling them, hey, you need to charge this much more over asking over the market. And they have sent the rental market through the roof. This one company, the FBI found that this one company, they raided one of their offices in Atlanta, or they raided one of their partners in Atlanta. This one company is responsible, almost solely responsible, for rental prices in a whole country going sky high. They found one company, right? What can a president do if Congress pushes back on everything? Here's what a president could do. A president can let us know what their plan is and say, this is something that I want to get passed. What a president could do is say, I'll use executive orders anywhere I can to get things passed. What a president could do is say, instead of just appointing my friends in these different cabinet positions, like the head of the Housing and Urban Development HUD or the head of Secretary of Education, instead of just putting my friends in these positions, I will make people campaign for those positions. And I'll say, if you want that position as the HUD, the leader of HUD, tell me how you plan on transforming urban areas with your housing ideas. This is what you do. Everything, like, I know they try to make it seem like everything has to go through Congress. Laws have to go through Congress. Not everything has to go through Congress. There's things that they can do with executive orders. And then to act like Congress is just turning everything down, these people are not even proposing anything. They're just saying, hey, I'm not going to do that because we don't know how it's going to get through Congress. Nothing is going to get through Congress if you don't propose it. You get one of these senators to write the bill and put it on the floor and let the people vote on it. What it should be saying is what John Conyers did for 40 years is constantly push HR 40 in the House, right? They were voting it down every year for 40 years. But that did not stop him from pushing it. HR 40 is the reparations bill. And it's only a bill to study reparations. It wasn't even to give us reparations. However, his track record shows I'm going to try to push this thing through. And you're going to see on record which one of these politicians, which one of these elected officials is voting it down. Because everything Congress votes on is very open. We can see exactly who said no and yes or decided not to vote on everything. Right? So that's what you do. Maybe Congress is getting in your way, but you can't tell me that Congress is getting in your way for a bill that was never even proposed. Congress didn't get in your way. You just never proposed it. You never let it be known. Because guess what? When Obama came through and said, I want this Obamacare thing, the country was kind of against that at first. And it took him a while to get it passed. But guess what? That didn't stop him from constantly telling everybody, I want to get this Affordable Care Act passed. He constantly pushed the message, hey, I want reform in healthcare. He didn't say, oh, I'm not even going to propose it because Congress is not going to get it passed. That's not how you do things. You understand? Some things, like, we got to understand that these people are playing a game with us. And they are specifically playing a game with black voters. And I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Do y'all know why they do polling and all this type of stuff? And why they do exit polls and surveys and all this type of stuff? Because the government is purposely allowing the public to be misled. Why are we doing polling and exit polls and all this type of stuff? The government knows exactly who everybody voted for. They know exactly who everybody is. Why does the Census Bureau, or why does not the any type of elections department in every state, why are they not putting out the stats on who voted for who. Not each specific person, but racially, economically, education class. The state has the data. They're not doing surveys. They know exactly who did what. Why wouldn't the state be putting that information out? So when the state says, yeah, 67% of black people voted for Kamala Harris, or 90% of black people voted for Kamala Harris, it'll actually be factual data. The numbers that we see in exit polls are not factual. They then called up 1,100 people on the phone and asked them, hey, what did you do? What's your background? And then they put these polls out, and then we're like, hey, well, 88% of people voted for Kamala, black people voted for Kamala Harris. But we really don't know, because that's not real information. That's just some surveys that they did. So this is what I say. I say that what definitely should be happening is you should be involved in your local elections way more. The president is cool, but the electoral college is going to handle that whether we cast a vote or not. And I'm not saying don't vote. I'm saying that they're going to handle it whether you cast a vote or not. But locally, and anything under the president is popular vote. You understand? So your senators, House of Representatives, your governor, your lieutenant governor, all of the rest of these positions, everything locally for sure, is popular vote. And there's things like when you go to vote for president, it's never just the president on the ballot. There's a bunch of other stuff. You need to go vote for judges. You need to go vote for new amendments to your constitution. They might have gambling on your ballot. There's a bunch of different stuff that does not get any advertisement that you need to go in there and read. So I'm never saying don't vote. I'm saying these people need to stop playing with us. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we need to demand what we want, and we might need to get in the community. We might need to get some more people that are proficient at writing policy and proposing it to these politicians and saying, hey, so because I'm in Georgia, right? So we have Jon Ossoff and we have Raphael Warnock on the Senate side. So we say, hey, Mr. Warnock, Mr. Ossoff, hey, we got this bill proposed. We want you to take it to Congress. They look through it. They say, okay, I agree. My people want it. And then they take it up to Congress and propose it. That's how we have to start getting down. If Congress shoots it down, guess what? We'll know who shot it down, and we'll know, we can maybe do what we got to do to try to get past that hurdle. But what's going on, Street Prophet? This is how it has to go. And another thing I need to say real quick. This is to black people specifically. Jess said I'm tired of Warnock texting me. This is what I need black people to know specifically. We should not be fighting with each other over which person the other person is voting for. That does not make any sense. I mean, Democrats and Republicans are really got it like gangland in the political space. And it's like, why are we attacking each other over Trump versus Harris? They're going to get into office and become the same person anyway. Why? You want to attack a black person because they said I don't care which side you voted for. Why in the hell is you attacking another black person? Because I don't care what color they is, actually. Why are you attacking somebody based on who they plan on voting for? Our ancestors didn't die for our right to vote Democrat. That is not what they died for. They actually didn't even die for our right to be forced to vote. They died for us to have the choice to do what we feel like doing. That's what they died for. That's what the ancestors died for. They didn't die so that we have to go vote. That is not what the hell they was doing. They wanted black people to have the choice. Right? We gotta stop the political gangbanging, man. That is so pointless. And it's really foolish because when that person get in office, they about to disappoint you still. You understand? We got to start attacking them governor seats in these states. Shout out to Georgia. We came close. Stacey Abrams decided to make black men her enemy. I have no idea what happened with that. I don't know what caused her to do that, but she did it. And you see how it worked out for her. You understand? This is another thing this is a theory of mine, but I'm going to back it up with some evidence one of these days. I'm going to back it up after I do some more research, and I'm going to tell you what the theory is. The reason the government does not put out the voter participation data, the reason that they don't put it out by race is because it would show that black people are far more politically active than they are telling us that we are. What they tell us is that we are not politically active enough and we need to get more active and we need to get out and vote more. I believe that's a lie, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's a lie. If we were so inactive as they say we are, they would not spend millions of dollars advertising to us. This is the first time in my life that I've seen Republicans go this hard to get black votes. And it's probably because it's Trump. Trump has been dealing with black people his whole life being in New York City. So even though he might have some like bigoted ways about himself, Trump is way more used to black people than even Tim Walz is. Like Tim Walz in Minnesota, like he is not very diverse up there. There's black people in a few pockets of Minnesota, but it's not diverse up there at all. Like Trump is way more used to being around and working with black people than Tim is. However, I've never seen this much advertisement from Republicans. I've been getting flyers. I never got flyers for no Republican candidates for nothing. But I've been getting flyers for like 2-3 months now for Trump. And I'm like, what the hell going on? These black people are way more impactful than they are telling us. And here's my proof, and this is what I'm gonna show evidence of when I get into this. If you move to a city, you can look at any city with a metro area in this country. If there is just 25% black people in that city, the politicians in that city will be black. Let me say that again. If you look at, and y'all can test this, I'm gonna show the numbers on it because I already did a little bit of this research in the past. Go do a list of cities, any city in this country that has more than 25% black population. That means 3/4 of the population is not us, right? Any city with more than 25% black population, there's black political leadership that's been voted in. What does that mean? That means that black people at just 1/4 of the population participating in elections at just 50 to 60% are outvoting every other group with every other interest in every city that we live in over 25%. What does that mean? That means that we are not the ones that's politically inactive, it's everybody else. They come out to vote for president and governor. They don't show up for mayor votes like they should. They don't show up for city council votes like they should. They don't show up for any of the other stuff. I'm telling y'all, and I'm gonna show it when I get my number. I'm gonna do a full display on it. Look at every city, 25% or more black population. I bet you they got a black mayor. There might be 1 or 2 exceptions. Maybe like, Charleston, South Carolina might be the only exception. And I've been damn, it's past midnight. I'm telling y'all, we are way more politically active than they are acting like. And there's things that we could do politically with strategies where we could start getting what we need. But that's my take on the election, man. Just go vote. And the presidential election is not the only thing on that ballot. Y'all need to go check your ballot and see what's on there and figure out what other things are on there. I was really hoping that gambling was going to be on the Georgia ballot this year, but it didn't make it past the Senate, or it didn't make it past either the House or the Senate, the local one, Georgia State House. We were very close, though. We were very close. And I see so many people making bread. I appreciate everybody that's still around for all this political talk right here, because I know the people showed up. They want to talk about the trial. I'm not registered as an independent. I'm registered as a Democrat. And I just found out that in Georgia, when you go vote in a primary, they're supposed to ask you which side you're voting for. Since I've been voting in Georgia since 2016, they have never one time asked me that. And I feel like that's tampering. The reason that it's tampering is because you're supposed to give the person the option during the primary to say which primary they want to vote on. That's what I had figured. I learned that recently by looking it up. I'm like, yo, they've been forcing me to vote Democrat in a primary every single time. They're not giving me the option at all. And they never did. And I think that's illegal. I'm gonna figure it. Yeah, I'm gonna figure that out. But I think that's illegal. They're supposed to give me the option. TW said we had that Kramer lady on ours. I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, Courtney Kramer. I told y'all how I had the interview in the bag and I messed it up because I said a stupid tweet out. It is also ignorant to assume people are voting for somebody simply because they're black. Right. I feel like you should vote for anybody for whatever reason you want. Now, people might think it's ignorant, but if you like the way a person dressed and you want to vote for them for that reason, that's on you. That's your right as an American with voting rights. You can vote for whatever reason you want to. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, we need to be done. And this is like, this political gangbanging is why when Trump was in office, we did not properly utilize Ben Carson at his position as the head of the Housing and Urban Development. He was in that position for 4 years. He had access to millions of dollars to put in the urban areas, and we completely checked out for 4 years because we felt like we don't want to work with anybody that has anything to do with Donald Trump. Are you serious? We cannot do that. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. Ben Carson was giving money to the whitest places. You know why? Because that's who was requesting the money, because everybody else felt like they didn't want to deal with Trump. I'm like, yo, we missing so much.